do think this is where we'll see Element Mystic pull the Doomfist back out once again, get Sparkle on that. Take us to what we've been expecting, what we've almost been hoping for them to play so far this series that we have not yet seen.
And I think the opposite is just as good because, like I said, dominant 3-3 map. So if you want to go on Sombra Goats, which is as close as you can do for a team like Element Mystic, that's very much acceptable. Sparkle has been performing super well on the Zarya so far, and they don't really need to do much else until O2 Blast can show evidence that this is not enough.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Speaking of, though, O2 Blast, we mentioned Krong's ability to play some other heroes. We're finally seeing him out here on the Hanzo.
Now, this is where you do need to start seeing the damage output. He wants to compete with Doha here, and, well, competition's very one-sided.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see the damage onto Krong, but look, they trade one back. They've got a closer respawn. Nice catch on Doha and Sparkle as well, and now they can lean into that respawn. They should be able to keep the cart moving despite a rocky start to that engage.
So now I've been told in this kind of matchup here, Element Mystic, because they're not running a D.Va, they can't really contest Krong on the Hanzo on high ground, and usually a Sombra will not contest him either because the Hanzo should win that duel, but Doa's like, I don't really care, I'm going to walk up to him, I'm going to win that 1v1 to get another kill.
Doa doesn't care about your stats.
They still do lose this fight overall, but they get the high ult charge. Look at Alpha, look at Doa, they're very competitive. Kaiser's kind of up there, Krong's not even close. O2 Blast, they're pushing in, but I'm expecting Element Mystic to fight back super strong.
Yeah, the EMP is going to be a real harrowing thing for O2 Blast to deal with here, and it's just about available. Let's just say nothing in the shatter, but you catch on Hanbin. Already a shatter, but there's a big shatter at that. Kaiser's own shatter not really doing a whole lot. He does get a lot of ult charge though, and Alpha goes down. O2 Blast keeping it in their end of the court right now. Krong starting to open up as well.
And this is going to be huge staggers as well. It's going to give O2 Blast a lot of early momentum as EM are waiting to reset their players. And Doha holding on to the EMP, didn't find the right opportunity to use it in that last defense. And so far, O2 Blast off of a small blunder at the beginning have won the fight 2 in a row, able to cap A point, able to stagger the respawns, and were able to push into B quite successfully. The Element Mystics should be within their element looking for that first Sombra EMP.
Look at Kaiser though, he's finally been allowed to play Overwatch.
Not anymore.
EMP out, yeah, as I say that, not anymore, he's not. That's a pretty easy cleanup here from Element Mystic. What I was going to say is Kaiser charged up his ultimate while Alpha was at about 10%, but I mean, when Doa's got EMP, you might as well not have an ultimate at all.
And this is now Element Mystic. Clean reset on the card itself, objective pressure back in their control. Graviton Surge available for O2 Blast, just about available for Sparkle on EM as well. And you do have a combo here that we don't normally see in this meta, which is going to be the Dragon Strike into the Graviton Surge, and that's something that O2 Blast should be leaning into.
Big difference as well for O2 Blast with both support ultimates. It's harder for Sparkle to get anything done. That's a bit of a spicy grab. Not going to get anything out of it. Proper commits his own. Also countered by the sound barrier. Alpha, despite his shatter, still going to get run down by Kaiser. Now they commit the sound barrier from Mandu to keep momentum in the fight. Looking to push on forward. They've already got 2 kills. Just looking for a few more. The counter trades out from Element Mystic, not quite strong enough to repel O2 Blast, who will regain possession of the cart.
And the sound barrier from Unique just barely keeping the team alive through the Dragon Strike, but the damage was still really big. And O2 Blast have the later Graviton Surge there coming through from Proper, cleaning up members from EM as they try and back away. 2 trades for nothing. And we're back to EM looking for an EMP. That's got to be the key for them. Kaiser's still sitting on a shatter. Has to be key for them.
Saving grace for Element Mystic, right? O2 Blast committed both of their support ultimates. There's no easy counter here to the EMP.
And looking for other ultimates as well. Krong is doing a decent amount of damage. Alpha taking super low, which is going to affect EM's ability to come in.
Whoa! Brilliant catch from Pelican to smash out Doa before he can use the EMP, charge it on Kaiser. Maybe just leaves Alpha too vulnerable, but no, he will finish off Kaiser with the help of Undyne, but Element Mystic still behind in this fight. They did lose Sparkle. Alpha did not get picked off, but they're on the wrong side of this cart anyway. Finally goes down, and Element Mystic trying to pile in to stand in front of the cart as it's poised to cap. O2 Blast still running down these members. Proper is unlocked.
And you better believe you pick a Goats map. You got to play Goats, you got to do it well. Already on the scene. Nearly 4 minutes to go through this. You do expect now that they will finish this map. That corner on B, not very successful defense-wise for Element Mystic. Leaning back into the EMP. No real other ultimates to speak of just yet. Maybe the Alpha Shatter will be online. That is a combo they can certainly pull into.
There it is, nicely committed just before Myeonbong can finish charging a Transcendent. So Element Mystic hanging the defense again on an EMP Shatter combo, and it works beautifully.
And O2 Blast reset. Still got 3 minutes and 30 roughly. It should be still enough time to get themselves through until, or unless they find themselves stuck somewhere that they shouldn't be stuck on. Grab into Dragon Strike could be key.
A lot of damage out on the side from Dog. They're going to get rescued by Myeonbong with the Transcendence proper. I mean, well, they got the damage, right? Doesn't matter if the grab, I think it might have got cancelled by a hack or something, but at any rate, O2 Blast win the fight.
And this is where they can make up for a bit of lost time. I say lost time, they've lost maybe like 1 minute now. 3 minutes roughly, about 30 seconds actually, half that. 3 minutes left is still plenty. Element Mystic waiting for the next EMP. Doa kind of just used one, still 50% onto the next Sparkle, now has grab. Nothing really to combo with just yet. O2 Blast reaching into the final X section.
Alpha taking pain. Mandu's got the sound barrier for that grab. Undynas to commit his ultimate. A couple of members getting low. Shatter out. Kaiser can't quite follow that one up. Maybe Alpha will get a bit more done. Does nearly got an EMP sound barrier to keep them in the fight as O2 Blast were pushing in, but they might not even need to use those other ultimates. They've found Kaiser, now finding Proper as O2 Blast go into full retreat.
Well, we've been trading fights 1 for 1 here. It's been Element Mystic, then O2, then back onto EM, then back onto O2. And if it keeps going that way, O2 Blast are going to be able to push in and complete this map, because every time they've won a fight, they've gotten good distance, and it comes a point where they get enough distance, it's actually the full cap through. You can see that again, Krong and Pelican, the hunter-killer team, trying to find Doa every time he goes for ult charge.
It's interesting, we don't talk about spy checking on Hanzo. It's not really what you pick him for, but hey, if Krong can do it well on D.Va, maybe he just knows where Doa's going to be. O2 Blast trying to square up the last of these ultimates.
Because the combo's still available, O2 are still in trouble here. Myeonbong has to stay safe. No, he's not.
Nope, that is very big. Absolutely massive. And I mean, how many times is this going to happen, right? A massive EMP and O2 Blast get absolutely decimated.
And by the way, Alpha doesn't need to shatter, because you see the 6-man EMP, you confirm it, seeing all the members as well. You're thinking, we can just win this one without the shatter. That's exactly what happens. So in terms of ult economy, they're being super, super conservative, and it is working well for Element Mystic and for O2. Now you're starting to get a bit worried, because you're cresting that 1 minute mark, and this is where you don't have a lot of attempts left.
Oh, Myeonbong gets
Especially if that
picked off.
happens.
Yeah, now they need to just turn and run. Proper still going to commit a grab, maybe try and turn this one back around, but they don't get much really done here. Kaiser gets stopped up before he can complete the charge. Alpha finds a lot more success. Must apologize for my earlier use of Decimation. Decimation means 1 in 10. O2 Blast keep losing all 6.
Krong, I believe, should be changing off the Hanzo soon. He wants to hold on to maybe the Dragon Strike, but the reason you run Hanzo early on is because there's a lot of high ground you can take advantage of. Once you reach the C point, I mean, where you're supposed to go, Hanzo's not really giving you the same value as a D.Va would, and they're starting to feel that.
That's a really rough spot to get grabbed down. They're trying to get a quick rotation.
Into the water.
2 members bumped up. Unique is brilliant. And O2 Blast tried a clever rotation there. Could have got him behind Element Mystic, but it gets read and dealt with, and again, a full team wipe.
How's the water feel?
Terrible.
That's got to be the question, because 10 seconds, card so far away.
Just throwing out the Dragon Strike.
EMP Shatter available.
Clear the way. The Shatter's
That
good
works.
though. Wow. Where was Alpha's shields? Kaiser just walked up and smacked that one down. Good EMP though in response. And Element Mystic, despite that, are still going to be just fine.
Bit of a scare there for Element Mystic. You're starting to think, okay, Kaiser's coming in. Sometimes he will just land those kind of shatters, but look, O2 maybe too far away to really do much about it. EMP shatter combo, as it was still available, they just get themselves back up, put Kaiser into the ground, and put themselves in a position where C-point defense success will still have to talk about what happened to A and B, because that was all O2. Element Mystic were mostly not there, but once we got to a position where, again, Hanzo not as useful as the earlier points, Krong probably stayed on for a bit too long, and now you're in a position where you're not going to see a time bank. O2 have to rely on their own solid defense.
Certainly not out of the picture as well, but you're dead right. It is a little bit concerning here that when Element Mystic are just alive, there seems to be nothing O2 Blast can do. And if Element Mystic can maintain that level of play into their offense, all they need to do is roll that payload, not even all the way to the end, and they will be at match point.
And I want to see O2 Blast lean on the A and B points again of this map, where they were successful in the offense. If they can be successful in the defense, run enough time off the clock. I remind you that this map is very difficult to cap. It's very defense favored overall. Most teams will not be able to finish all 3 points, and that has to be what O2 rely on here, because if we go to C, EMP is on the table, you don't have to go all the way to the end of the map. That's typically one of the harder places as well inside that final room.
Yeah.
EMP can just give you that small push, or in some cases, that large push you need to get the completion.
And that's the thing, often you rely on high momentum to get through Rialto in a timely fashion. With the speed that Doha charges his EMPs, it's very easy to preserve momentum. By the time the next fight rolls around, he practically already has another one available every single time.
Checking the high ground angles now, dodging all the damage. And O2 Blast on the ground. They need to be able to assault this offense reasonably soon, but Doha's very clever.
Slowly but surely chipping O2 Blast back. Good damage though out, as Doha has to translocate away.
Just knows his limits so well. Instant translocation, knows he's probably going to get popped.
Yeah.
A lot of other Sombras would have died there.
He got a fair bit of ult charge forward as well. Now starting to push the 40% mark, and this is where he tends to run away.
High ground being taken by Element Mystic means they get a flank.
Yeah, nice wrap around. They don't quite get a kill from it though, and in fact, Alpha's going to take a lot of pain in the rotation back down onto the cart, but no one dying, so Element Mystic can just bide their time.
While that's happening though, look at Doha, 73%. You're seeing this EMP coming up very quickly. Cart is still moving. We're into the courtyard. This is not where you want to be if you're O2.
And that's what Element Mystic are biding their time for, that EMP that's about to become available. O2 Blast haven't found a kill, haven't got an ultimate to respond to this with.
Wow.
Connects on to 5 members, doesn't find Myeonbong, who doesn't even have a Transcendence anyway, and there it is once again. Element Mystic, a strong EMP, a quick and painful cleanup, and they keep the cart moving.
You're about 3 seconds off, maybe 2 seconds off from seeing the Transcendence from Myeonbong. By the time he has it, a couple members are already down, and Element Mystic, off of one person, didn't really have to commit until the resources were available. They just cleanly moved their way onto B. Maybe soon. There will be contests.
They're going to try for it. They've got that Transcendence to maybe back it up. Good for a way in, some kind of ultimate. Sparkle closer to a grab than proper is. Shadows even though.
Double support ultimates almost available for EM as well. That's very important.
That's the thing, EM do just have more to lean into, and if this goes on too long, Doha gets another EMP, but it's going to be first grab out from Sparkle. They've survived that one. Transcendence from Undyne. Shadows both ways here. Both teams okay for now. Sound Barrier will not save Kaiser, nor will it save himself from going in the drink. The grab up from Proper, but a fraction of a hair too late. And this man who has had so many amazing grabs that has massively turned around so many fights has found himself unable to against the juggernaut of EM.
And Sparkle now as the dominant Zarya. Look at this, Kaiser getting the close spawns. So is Krong, just has to immediately charge into the water, reset as quickly as you can. Mandu as well.
Rough.
That is rough because, I mean, you want to be able to get the B defense started. We talk about A and B as the points for O2 to focus on to get a hold somewhere, because if we get to see, and there's a lot of time, EMP will be a big enough tool for Element Mystic to win.
Well, Joe's got an EMP again, funnily enough. This always seems to be the way. And that's a huge one as well. Another 5-man EMP. The only one he doesn't get is Krong, who's definitely not going to want to use a self-destruct in this situation anyway. The gong rings out for the umpteenth time this matchup.
And everybody on EM are just able to out-rotate O2 Blast ultimate-wise. Sparkle back on the grab now. No real defense, Myeonbong and Mandu just a little bit too far away. You got Krong on the self-destruct. That's not really going to help you enough.
Is this it, right? Like, Element Mystic really just that good? Are they really just that bit better? Nice hack on Myeonbong as well. Really hamstrings his ability to chunk
okay,
the ultimate.
that's enough.
Krong's keeping them in this one. Can Proper get unlocked here? Myeonbong is down. They've only got Mandu keeping these members in. Proper gets stunned. Might get drilled down here. Indeed he will. Nice finish off an O2 Blast. Krong nearly kept them in that fight, but they just couldn't get any more kills beyond that.
That's amazing actually from Krong. Despite not winning that fight for O2, what little resource they had almost would have been good enough. I think versus basically any other team, that 2-man self-destruct kill would have probably have given the fight over to O2, but this isn't any other team. This is Element Mystic pushing out into C. 4 minutes plus remaining. 1% more for Doha for that EMP. We'll talk about this. One big EMP fight, they can probably finish.
Yeah, this could well be the last push. O2 Blast don't exactly want to force the issue, so there it is, right on in. The same combo as always. This time though, Myeonbong ready on it with the Transcendence, and they have survived. Now the question is, can O2 Blast hit back? Because if they can't, they're done for. Yeah, Shatter from Kaiser's not going to quite do it. Unique with the sound barrier, so the Element Mystic can keep the pressure up. They find Kaiser out. Mandu's sound barrier not quite there in time, but can proper turn it around. He's got a grab. They've found Alpha as well. They might still be able to do this. The grab is there. Krog's teammate, Proper's down. They haven't quite followed up the damage. And a second EMP from Doha. That's going to be Element Mystic rolling on through easy breezy with plenty of time to spare. Match point for Element Mystic.
You asked the question, are Element Mystic just that much better? And I think the answer is pretty much going to be a yes at this moment. You look at Lijiang as an outlier, probably not one that Element Mystic where I want to say really thinking about too properly there. It's just, again, a bit of a freebie because outside of that, it's been completely Element Mystic as you expect. All three maps now, even Rialto, I would somewhat include there. Very dominant display by Element Mystic all around. It was competitive, I would say, from O2 Plus, at least on this last map, but not good enough to actually win.
And look, you might have thought the saving grace would be that next we go back to Control with the addition of it being O2 Blast's pick. But there is a world where even if they win that, I utterly doubt their ability to win on any other game mode.
And I think even going back to Control, Element Mystic, just play Doomfist again. It's been available this entire time. You haven't even pushed him to the stage where Sparkle feels like time to bring the fist out again. And that was such a huge weapon against EM in every other matchup. I do like, in some ways, the kind of spanner in the works is that if O2 Blast were expecting a Sombra Doomfist matchup, it hasn't been that. It's just been Sombra so far. But so far, that's also been enough. And it's been now 4 full maps. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, match point for Element Mystic versus O2. Don't go anywhere. Shanghai for the Pacific Showdown Grand Final, and there may only be one more map here between O2 Blast and Element Mystic, so let's go and get it one more time. O2 Blast have one opportunity.
And they've not looked too hot, let's say, over these last 3 maps. The first one, though, looked honestly great. I mean, the stage in the middle in Lijiang Tower, they did get shut out, but outside of that, they were just unequivocally the better team. So the thing we've now got to look at is, look, can they at least turn it back here on Control? Can that be something they get here? But even if that's the case, can they only get Control against Element Mystic?
Yeah, because this will be the only Control game mode left, and afterwards we're back in Hybrid, we're back into Escort, and we know how those went, and sure, it'll be different maps, and part of me wants to go to Hybrid just to see something that isn't King's Row, but part of me is also like, I don't think we're going to get there, because O2,
not at this rate,
straight after Lijiang, will call Rialto an improvement, but a gradual improvement, and at this rate, they need a far bigger improvement to actually get a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's an improvement that's happened after a sharp decline, right? Because you went from King's Row into Volskaya. I mean, you could argue Volskaya looked better than what King's Row did.
Went from Lijiang down a cliff onto King's Row, and then the rest.
That's the thing, right? We're still recovering from there. It's still a long way to go. A lot of grounds to make up, both in terms of skill as well as just straight maps. Element Mystic only need to get one more.
I should be feeling pretty confident. They felt confident this entire tournament. They knew they were going to be the favorites. They even said, we haven't even thought about what would happen if we lose because we're not going back to Korea if that happens. So they're just planning to win. They're basically saying we're going home with the trophy. We're not. Well, that's not happening at all.
And that's the thing now, only one win away. Look, they're the best in Korea, and they're just on the cusp of proving that they are also the best in the entirety of the Asia-Pacific region at large.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, to be fair, they were just the best team outside of Overwatch League, even maybe within Overwatch League, if you want to really theorize about it.
Yeah.
Typically, Korea has produced the best talent, and it's been evidently clear why. Gauntlet will be there to prove that maybe someone else could challenge them, because so far, both these teams, even include O2 into the conversation, head and shoulders above the rest.
That's the reality of it all. It's not really to the detriment of the other regions in Asia Pacific at large. They've all had some phenomenal showings across this tournament, but sitting atop it all for the entire run has been Element Mystic, who have been the team to beat. And you're right, I think we are just in a world where it's got nothing to do with who's good or not in Contenders regions. EM are just a head and shoulders above the rest of the Tier 2 scene.
And they're doing it on their own as well. They're doing it in their own way. You look at the meta, it's 3-3, it's GOATs. That's what most teams are playing, and O2 symbolizes that so well. They're definitely the best 3-3 GOATs team here. And Kaiser, hands on temples here, thinking about what more? What do you need to do here? You're playing 3-3. On Nepal now will be the next map here, up against the team of Element Mystic, who have almost dropped the Doomfist and are still just doing so well.
And that's one thing we do want to talk about here as well. Maybe Control is the only map mode here that O2 Blast can win. And maybe that means Element Mystic not wanting to risk it. They themselves, looking at Lijiang Tower, do need to turn things a bit around if they just want to win it right here, right now. Maybe they bring out the Doomfist.
And by the way, we usually see a substitution on map 4 escort for Takoyaki. Haven't actually seen that yet. Alpha's been playing the whole time.
Yeah.
Can't fault him for it. He's been playing fantastically. Comboing with Doha, EMP shatters the whole way, expecting a lot more of that. One constant we will be able to have for this entire matchup is going to be Doha on the Sombra. There's going to be a lot of EMPs.
Here we go.
This is going to be them.
Sparkle special. He has been unlocked. He's allowed to play Doomfist. Can this just do it? O2 Blast going to get the Vietnam flashbacks about now, I imagine. Both teams just rolling out. Nice damage in. Pelican for Alpha, though, is a good trade for O2 Blast. If they can get more done as well, it is Element Mystic retreating.
And this is also going to be proper sleeping as well, so Element Mystic may be looking for advantage points. Doha's going to be on a flank, possibly charging up some more of that ultimate. Cap does unlock, and O2 is going to get there first.
That's the thing, because Alpha's dead, Element Mystic had to approach more cautiously, so O2 Blast did a good job of holding what ground they had.
Nano's going to come online for Undyne fairly soon. Sleep Duck misses this time around. Sparkle, though.
Deep on in and a bit too deep, methinks. Kaiser, though, down in the counter trade, so Element Mystic not done yet. O2 Blast need to get a few more kills if they really want to make this one stick. They've actually backed off the point here. Element Mystic nearly capped.
Nandu actually has been capped as well. That means no speed boost.
Prop is down as well. Myeonbong gets drilled, and Hardbin has swapped shoes with Proper by the looks of things. Look at this man go.
Element Mystic all too easy here. This is after losing Sparkle as well. Still have the confidence to go, and if that wasn't enough, EMP was definitely available. Harbin also with the Zarya on the Graviton Surge, and O2 Plus losing Mandu means no speed boost, no healing, no way to back out safely. They lose so many members, and already EM have overtaken the percentage points on the cap.
And that was when they killed Sparkle first. Like, you'd think that at least is a good sign, a good start.
Sleep done.
Oh dear, Kaiser's in trouble. The whole team's in trouble. That's a freebie EMP. Nice sound barrier though in response. Noah gets shut down. So O2 Blast actually ahead in the fight, especially with Alpha getting swapped off to the side and drilled down. Undyne dead as well. The rest of Element Mystic are going to try and get out. They might not be able to though, and that's a big tempo swing for O2 Blast.
And honestly, they were able to split up Element Mystic so successfully. Sparkle not going to get enough done there. Doha dying super quickly as well. That was probably the first sign. Pelican's just on his number. Pelican is looking for him every single time. Element Mystic still have so many ultimates to play with, and yet they lose the point.
They still have a lot of ultimates to play with though. That's the saving grace. Nice sleep there.
Undyne is nuts.
Yeah. Transcends from Myeonbong quite early, and that one Kaiser still goes down to the charge from Alpha. Counter grab from Proper now. Can they get some kills back? Can they make smart stab and prong? Self-destruct will not find them. Hardman's low, but he's not dead. Great biotic grenade. Pelicans down. They also drill down Proper on the side. Prong in trouble as Hardman just keeps the beam on him. The mech shot down, and that's a regrab now again from Element Mystic.
And Sparkle on the other side as well. Element Mystic are everywhere on this map, and O2 Blast don't know where they can play. 53% to 57. This is at least going super close. Very competitive by O2. Still staying in, but how much longer can they do that for? Because Doha, once again, the EMP, if they win this fight, we're going to be 80 plus.
And this feels like the one where they win 2 in a row. These teams have traded fights so far. If Element Mystic can get a second one here, they're in good standing, and the sleep on Prong is too sick.
Let's give Element Mystic the space to just walk in a little bit more, taking control of the point.
There it is, the EMP out. Quick catch on Myeonbong. The Sparkle dives in deep. Going to be able to find out Proper as well.
Boy.
Smack dab onto Pelican. That's going to hurt in the morning. Element Mystic now rounding the bend of 85%.
And that's the man on your screen, SP9RK1E. Remember that one, May 31st as well. He's going to prove that Christmas does come twice when he comes of age for Overwatch League.
I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this guy, especially if this keeps being a ghost killer. Maybe some Overwatch League teams want to look into some good doofus, but back to the match at hand. His Pelican's already down, despite the shadow from Kaiser. They can't get anything done with it. Alpha's not too hot either, but honestly, it's O2 Blast behind in the fight. They're not getting anything done. Myeongbong are going to go down. Mandu as well. Element Mystic having no trouble keeping possession of the point as the overtime ticks down 1-0 up. That much closer to the win.
100-57. And I will say very quickly as well as Hanbit posing for the victory in there. Sparkle currently 16, 17 this May 31st. Next year it's going to be 18 for him. So Overwatch League scouts, better get your paychecks ready.
Open that checkbook. Let's take a breather now. Can O2 Blast bring this one back in?
It's match point, because 3 maps in the favor of Element Mystic in the first of 4, 1 round in their favor in a soft best of 3 for this Nepal game as well.
Match point. It's like New York, only terrifying if you are O2 Blast. I don't know if they've ever been to New York. Rolling out the gates for what may be the last time for O2 Blast.
And it's going to be the standard here. Sparkle back on the Zarya as well, taking no chances. That last round was a little too close for comfort. They want domination. Domination they'll get.
Just trade love taps for now. Neither team quite getting the upper hand. Mandu low, but he's going to get topped off. They do just, again, they want to wait for Doha to charge that EMP.
27%, so is Alpha. The two are just keeping up with each other. O2 Blast on the point first, as expected.
Kaiser gets dropped, though. Not even going to need the EMP at this rate. Alpha down to the counter trade. They nearly got Pelican, but no, here we go. Proper's held on. Found his counterpart. That looked a little scary, but O2 Blast are going to steer clear. It's only the one fight, though. They should get the grabs, but the next one, Doha's going to have an EMP.
If Kaiser's the right hand of this team, Proper is the left one, and he's flexing right now. 90 plus energy for most of that. If Kaiser's down, Proper's still there, doing so much. 84% now on his way to the Graviton Surge. Almost double that of Sparkle.
He's the left hand, and he's something of a southpaw with the amount of pain he dishes out. Doha nearly on that EMP though. Myeongbong can get the Transcendence. They could be a little bit more safe. Commits it early because they just sniff it. They see it coming. They know it's going to be there. They do still lose Kaiser. Tackle Proper can't quite come through thanks to the bubble. He's trying to stay in the fight.
Look at that.
Until they can get a grab. Doesn't even need it again. Absolutely devastating. Smacks them in the jaw. O2 Blast on the shoulders of Proper right now.
We talk about a conversation where Proper may be considered the best Zarya of the tournament. He might just be the best Zarya in Korea with this performance right now, keeping O2 Blast in. This is so insane. 47 now and counting up. O2 Blast know they have to win this. There's no more room for error. They can't afford to lose at all.
And Proper's awake again. This is what we saw in their losers bracket final against T1W. Shut down Kaiser. Proper is still alive and kicking. Element Mystic looking to get back in on the point now. Nice grab. Sparkle's already dead. Self-destruct forward from Krong. Charging Alpha out means he's going to go down. And O2 Blast already looking sweet and toasty in this one. Element Mystic even using the Transcendence there to no avail.
And the pacing's so nice from O2. Look how quickly these fights end. Because they go so fast, Doha has been slowed down too. He does eventually get this EMP, but he isn't able to stay in as long as he would like to get it faster. If he got it a little bit faster, that could have been the fight for EM, launching the EMP in there, getting Proper and the rest down, and O2 not going to be the case today. 90% almost, and still ticking up.
If they're going to find a fight win with the EMP, it's got to be now, or O2 Blast take this 100-0.
Look at Mandu as well. He has the counter available. Has to make sure he's safe.
Early barrier from Unique as Element Mystic shoots to push in. Every time, man, they find Kaiser. But Proper, every time again, he starts dishing it back. Have not yet used the EMP, though, and it is a numbers advantage for Element Mystic, who've also got the point. O2 Blast are actually retreating here. They chose to let that one go.
And honestly, that's the safe play. That's the conservative play to say, we're not going to throw ultimates in potentially a losing fight. Kaiser's already down. Don't try and play 5v6. We're going to come back. We have ultimates. Proper is nearly on the 100% for his Graviton Surge as well. If we win one fight, we're at 99%. We can take the round.
Only spanner in that is Doha. EMP.
And he's hiding.
He's got a really great inside track here
Krong
on O2
just
Blast.
barely missed him as well.
How is that not a detect?
Oh, I mean, Dota's just very good.
Right on top of them.
Absolute ninja.
Oh,
baited out!
Absolutely disgusting. They've got to get something done while this is still running, or it's been a waste. No pins out there. There we go, though. They've still got a sound barrier. There's the grab commit as well. Answered by Undyne. The Transcendent. No one down just yet. Shadow from Kaiser.
Alpha.
They're looking to finish him off. They do find him. O2 Blast looking to power their way back onto the point, despite using that Transcendence a little earlier than was necessary. They've only got the one kill though here. Element Mystic might try and rally back.
Remember, it's 99%, so they get the cap. That means EM have to fight this. They can't retreat.
They're waiting for Alpha, and they might not have that sort of time on their hands. Barely keeping this alive, though. Unique, he is dead as Alpha starts to rejoin the fray now. O2 Blast holding a numbers advantage. Noah trying to come up on an EMP to rescue
gonna
this
get a
one.
grab.
He's super low here. Alpha, he's going to go
Proper.
down. Proper's got it. He might not even need it. He commits it on to Undyne. Going to find him. Going to find Noah as well. No EMP shock turnaround. Tied up. O2 Blast keeping it alive.
And he's punching his way through this match right now. Lapping Sparkle through. We just complimented Sparkle. Okay, great Doomfist. Talk about Zarya. No, that's a conversation just for Proper. And this is going to be a proper showcase of the Lijiang, of the Nepal match, the final one, potentially. They don't want it to be the final one. This is going to be O2 trying the darndest. One more round, potentially sack them here to save it all.
At the very least, keep them in contention in these finals. But it is still Element Mystic at match point. It is still Element Mystic, the one phase away. Match point, match point.
We're back on Sparkle, Doomfist, we're back on Hanbin, Zarya as well.
Is this it? Is this the kryptonite?
For the glove on the other hand here, give Hanbin a go at him. Proper saying, I'll take on all challenges. Kaiser on a Winston.
That's a little bit different. See if it works. Sleep on Frog. It's a good start.
Can't forget about Undyne because he's landing a double Bionade now while Krong was sleeping.
It's decent for Element Mystic, who also have the presence on the point. Here's now the dive in from O2 Blast. Ooh, Sparkle is going to be just fine. Nice bump up.
Oh, another
Anti-heal
Bionade
as well. Sleep on Pelican. It's only a matter of time, surely. Krong gets the mech. There it goes. The floodgates open. Proper getting battered about. Stays alive, finds Hanbin, Kaiser finds Alpha, and suddenly O2 Blast hit that one straight off back.
There's a lot of kills going the way of O2. Look at Doa, 70% and counting up, but he's just looking for scraps. He's looking to come into the next fight with something that Element Mystic can use, and an early lead is so good for O2, especially for this final round.
What can O2 Blast do for this next one, though, where the EMP and Earth Shatter combo is a factor?
You look at Myungbong, you look at Mandu, somebody has to get a support ultimate to defend with. Kaiser can't really block out these shadows, he's only got a bubble.
That's the trade-off with the Winston as well, as we always say, between that and the Reinhardt. Goes aggressive, though, with the Primal Rage, already taking a lot of pain. There's the EMP.
Where's Myungbong?
He's just barely got it in the nick of time. It won't be able to save Pelican, though, who was bionated. Malmu as well going down. Not going to be saved by the Transcendence. Krong hacked and dropped out of the mech. Not going to last very long either with that anti-heal on him. And Element Mystic not losing a single member in that fight will get the point.
Destruction, total, utter destruction. And O2 Blast finally give up that cap. Element Mystic so clean from them this time around. Myungbong barely getting that Transcendence like we mentioned, but with Pelican anti-healed, instantly going to get taken down. Undyne is hitting so many of these abilities. If Element Mystic's still sitting on a ton of ultimates.
It's not looking hot for O2 Blast coming into this one.
Oh, Proper Sleepy. He just got hit by a Bionade and instantly got slipped.
They're just waiting for that grab as well. That's really all they got to work with. That's to say nothing of Hanbin, who's also got his, and he's got his first. Now looking for the Space Jam combo. Targeted by
instant death.
Brilliantly done. Alpha does go down to the counter trade. Sparkle's in trouble, but oh man, O2 Blast have held on here. Krong able to preserve the mech with the self-destruct as well. Suddenly O2 Blast squaring up in front of the point, looking to take back possession of it.
I'll tell you what, Hanbin saw the grab opportunity, but Doa wasn't quite ready yet. He was still sitting just a little bit off the EMP, and while the fight does go in, Sparkle gets one kill, they get cleaned up just as quick, and now he's thinking, well, save the EMP for next time. 54-48, still very competitive from both teams, and this is the kind of matchup we wanted to see. It's been mostly Element Mystic for most of the series, and O2 Blast finally waking up.
Can they hold on here, though? because Element Mystic are already a few good fights away from winning still. EMP out, not against the two members. Not the best you've seen so far. Grab from Proper, answered by Sound Barrier. Sparkle, he's going to go down here. Good catch on Proper plus the mech on Frog. Really pulls the rush out from under O2 Blast. Trying to stay in this one thanks to eliminating Undyne, and Hunman has to back up for a second, but he can re-enter with a ton of charge. Can they find an answer for him?
90% now and counting for O2 Blast coming through Shadow's mid.
Nice one from Alpha, but they can't quite follow up. They do find Kaiser. Sparkle looking to go deep maybe with this Meteor Strike, looking to get onto the back line as Alpha's down on the front line though, and instead Sparkle has the retreat, but it's 99%. Element Missing are going to have to go back in.
They have to, and they got Doha's EMP. They must use everything. Sparkle stunned up, and he's killed.
Already down, but nice anti-heal plus the EMP. They can't follow up on it though. They stay in this Rumper goes down thanks to the bump. They're still here.
Sound Barrier to secure it, maybe.
That might just do it. Self-destruct from Krog also creates space, keeps Element Mystic at bay. If they step off this point, that overtime will vanish so fast. Trying to get the poop off the edges, Mark moving out. O2 Blast out of ultimates, they're not on the point. O2 Blast have kept it alive.
And what you see here is the control point for O2 Blast is going to be their victory condition today. There's only two though in the entire series, so still questions for later on, but for now, you get to breathe deep, at least a little bit. The good news is, when Sparkle comes out on Doomfist, actually O2 are handling this one quite well. It's scarier when he doesn't have the Doomfist. Actually, when we're looking at the other maps and it's just a Zarya, it's just the Sombra Goats, that's where Element Mystic have actually been winning. So this is a bit of a strange result, but O2, you definitely will take this one.
I mean, maybe you could say it means O2 have beaten their kryptonite, as we've kind of been calling it, but you're dead right. They've still got to actually answer the regular old Sombra Goats. It's something O2 Blast actually did very well, often by just forcing a swap onto 3-3, shutting down the Sombra. But with Doha, that is that much harder, and they haven't been capable of doing it so far this series.
I think a few questions now for the side of Element Mystic. It was close enough that they were also within striking distance themselves. They could have easily seen that being a victory, being a 4-1 completion for this entire Grand Finals, but it is now going to be O2 Blast tripling the overall map score versus Element Mystic. When we come back, the Grand Finals of the Pacific Showdown does continue. Welcome back everyone once again to the Pacific Showdown here. We got players in the audience from Order, from Talon, waiting to see who will emerge as the victor here, as we are and you are as well, between O2 Blast versus Element Mystic. Now officially 3-2. We do have now a series on our hands.
Yeah, it did all just get thrown back up in the air a little bit. I think the thing we do say about it though is, look, Control does seem to be the most winnable game mode here. That is what those two map wins represent for O2 Blast. They've yet to win on any other game mode, and we do kind of doubt their ability to do so. So, moving forward, this is their opportunity to prove us wrong.
And we're going to be going back to hybrid as well, and there will no
more
there will not be King's Row on the table.
10 for 11.
So, I mean, 10 for 10 in terms of matches. It's
Yeah.
kind of like an extra one you get on the end.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus hybrid. I mean, it's not going to be King's Row. I'm kind of hoping that somehow it is.
And
Again.
I am scared that going back to hybrid now, I know it's going to be a different map, but if you remember what happened on King's Row, it was so one-sided that we had a full hold on A, followed by a one-attempt push onto A that just completely annihilated O2 and gave EM the quickest win so far in this entire series. And now we're here back onto hybrid, and I'm thinking you know, we go back to the notion of O2 have only won on Control. They need to win on other game modes if they actually want to take a series.
But look, if they do, then suddenly we actually even things up. We'd go all the way deep. We'd go to all 7 here. I mean, that's excluding the potential of a tie, but I mean, for sake of argument, let's pretend that that's not going to happen here. We would actually be in a situation where O2 Blast, like I said, even things up, and if they've also won on a game mode other than Control, then you start to really consider your ability to actually finally overcome Element Mystic.
And I think the one question that does get answered so far from the 2-map wins is to say that EM are fallible. They can be beaten. Just a couple of maps at a time. You look at this now, it's still match point for Element Mystic, make no mistake about it. But one thing for O2 is if you take this one map at a time, look at it as a couple of best of ones. And just get them done. You can actually do this.
As it stands, strictly speaking, O2 Blast, as of now, have officially tripled their overall map win record against Element Mystic across this wider season of Contenders for 2019, because they had that one against Element Mystic way back before going down 0-4 in the finals, 0-3 in their first match against them here. So picking up 2 more is actually still a big improvement.
Don't forget, long time ago, back in O2 Ardiant, back on the original Element Mystic, so many of those players now no longer here. A lot of them off to the Overwatch League. Darko, Pokpo from Element Mystic gone. Guard as well. You look at the side of O2. Yakupung, Ivy, Stella, all those guys went, and you have these 2 teams still remaining. Still 2 of the best teams in Korea, despite losing so many star players and so many more star players being developed and showing themselves now.
And that really is just the strength of the region and indeed the strength of these teams. They're not the only team in Korea that seems to have a similar story. So their ability to rebuild and just come out so strong no matter what happens, no matter who they lose in terms of good players. And every time we see them at these events as well, you start eyeing up players who you might think will get picked up for Overwatch League as well.
So many candidates on both sides of the story here. Blizzard World will be our 6th map.
Alrighty,
still possibly our final map, don't know yet. If O2 take this, we actually go to the final one. Didn't think we'd make it that far, thinking this was probably going to be an easy-ish affair for Element Mystic, but O2 Blast want to change some opinions on that matter.
I'd like to really rate O2 Blast's ability to do this here on Blizzard World as well, but at the same time, I think it opens up a lot of opportunities for Doha specifically, who is still a lot of what Element Mystic's success is predicated on, because it is the Sombra Goats that O2 Blast have still not shut down.
And even if O2 can win from here, it will be Element Mystic picking again. So for the rest of the tournament, rest of the series, EM at least have that going for them, and that's, you know, that's if they don't actually win, which you still do expect them to. They are still favored. They still just have the supremacy over O2. It's not as pronounced as what we've seen in the 4-0 scoreline of the finals in Korea, or the 3-0 scoreline of the winner bracket finals, but here in the grand finals, O2 really trying to rewrite the script.
Rolling out the gates. A lot of tension hanging in the air between these 2 teams.
Look at the
square up on Blizzard World.
Look at the high ground as well. Element Mystic will try and possibly rotate around, pressure this point out, force O2 on the ground. As this happens, they're losing positioning. Doha is actually going to be the one going to the point early. Now that the high ground is open, Element Mystic are going to push through themselves, and Doha's going to take another flanking angle.
And that's the thing, like I said, opens up a lot of possibilities for Doha, who's already rounding the bend of 30%. Highest ult charge in the game right now.
It's been him and Alpha, this combo. Takoyaki still hasn't played yet in 6 maps and might not have to at this rate. Element Mystic looking to push in soon.
Sparkle takes a bit of damage though, so...
Hanbin.
Yeah, Hanbin takes a fair chunk. What are they looking for here? Element Mystic still coming up closer and closer to that EMP.
Look, they swap sides. Element Mystic have the superior positioning here.
If O2 Blast don't find a pick soon, it goes badly.
And Kaiser, he took a lot of damage previously, has a decent amount of Earth Shadow charge, but looking at Doha as well, he's going to be able to get it first.
Way ahead of Myeonbong or Mandu as well, so they're not even going to have a defensive answer for it proper. At least there's damage to drill these members of Element Mystic back, but they're on the point, slowly capping.
Really good by O2 to push them on the high ground, but as we get to the point, here comes the EMP.
No hesitation. Doesn't catch too many though. It's 4 members and there's a Transcendence if they need it, but they might not at this point. It does buy them some ticks, but here comes the response now. Double shatters out. Doha gets picked off. Bong will risk the Transcendence to make sure that they stay healthy in the fight as they force Element Mystic back.
And this is going to be now O2 Blast making another attempt of this one. Element Mystic got pretty close. Element Mystic used the EMP in there as well. You have a case where O2 Blast are doing a very decent job. Look at this, 2:06 on the clock. Half of this time nearly gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's still alive. Proper with the grab. You know how much he can do with that one.
And we've said a lot of the times these fights balance on Doha's EMPs, but this time O2 Blast are able to steer through safely.
4 ultimate, well, not really 4, just yet 3 for Element Mystic. Making this next push. They have to kind of reset positioning and they're going to go straight into the point, pushing Kaiser to the side.
It's going to be grab out. They finish off Sparkle in it. Mandu's committed a sound barrier to make sure that they're able to aggress. It's 2 kills now as they find Hanbin. And Undyne did commit an ultimate in there, so that's actually a decent trade as well for O2 Blast in addition to winning the fight.
I think O2 Blast have real claim to be able to potentially full hold here. It's still difficult. Look, 79.5% is a decent amount of progress. 2 ticks as well, so any mistake that gets punished, Element Mystic can immediately cap pretty much, and with the EMP coming through, you do expect this one to be big. Bong is keeping up.
And that's the big difference here. Last time, Bong was a little bit behind in that charge. Luckily didn't need it, but this time he's keeping pace with Doha. They should have it available by the time the EMP comes in, or at least within the scope of using it to defend.
And that 1 minute mark now has been breached. Element Mystic trying to take high ground away from O2.
Might just be last fight. There's the EMP, didn't find Bong. So there's the answer.
Shatter
Guys are
as
low.
well.
Can they keep him up? No, they cannot. And they need to counter trade now very, very quickly. O2 Blast, what can they do? Leaning in onto Proper is the usual play, but they lose Pelican. Self-destruct up from Prong, will not find anything. 98% Proper's down, and that will be Element Mystic able to break this point and finally get that cart underway.
With 28 seconds left to go as well, a huge cleanup by EM, pushing forward now. O2 eventually have to give that one up. He felt like it was ticking time bomb. Eventually the EMP combo into the Earth Shadow will be enough to force O2 away. They at least get to all reset together in time for the speed defense.
Element Mystic, this is where the Streets phase, they can really start to gather some momentum. That's what will be advantageous for them on this map.
I think because it took 3 minutes and 30 seconds for Element Mystic to push through, they might not be able to finish the map. O2 can defend well. The proper grab though.
There's this one out from Sparkle that found Kaiser. Proper has yet to commit, so O2 Blast with Prongdy Mech probably going to hold on to that grab this time around.
Yep.
Not really able to retreat though, so they do give away a lot of ultimate charge.
So Sparkle using grab first, of course, and then Proper not quite having it, just he was working his way towards it. And EM now really start to make some distance, and this is to make up for that last time on A, because for O2, if they don't really get any hold on B, they're going to go on to C with Element Mystic that is going on to C with should be enough time to fully complete this map.
EMP could be all it takes. But again though, O2 Blast have some answers. They've got a sound barrier. Nice early grab. Shatter out, goes into Kaiser's shield. They haven't got any kills out of it though, and Doha is biding his time with the EMP. They found Proper. That's a big opener. Might not even need the EMP if they can keep that momentum going, but O2 Blast do still have a lot of ultimates.
Bong going in. I think Doha should be looking for something here. Shatter does catch him.
Nicely done. Can they finish it off? Yes, they can. Kaiser finds him with the charge. Trades his own life for it, but that is how O2 Blast can start to pull back in this fight as well. Proper has rejoined the team as well, so Element Mystic at a numbers deficit will start retreating.
And that kind of gives Mandu the priority to just use the sound barrier to secure the fight. However, that does also mean going into the next engagement, no support ultimates at all versus Doha and the EMP. They have to shut him down again. They have to catch him with another stun. Pelican's got a big job to do because Doha is going to be hunting for blood.
It's going to be a real tough one. EMP out. Gets a good number, but they haven't found the kills just yet. They popped their own Transcendence to try and push forward on that EMP, but Kaiser even hacks, taking a long time to kill him, and he's still not dead. He stayed alive, coming close to a shatter. Will finally go down, but Alpha goes down as well. O2 Blast holding on by the tips of the nails, but Sparkle's grab finally available. They're going to go ahead and commit it, lose Pelican before Transcendence is in from Bong, but can Proper maybe turn this one back around?
Yeah, look at his grab now. Still have a few members alive. I think he'll die.
So close! And committing it ends up being an unfortunate mistake. Not one you can blame him for. He died in a fraction of a second as he pressed that Q button. But with that Element Mystic, will cap B by the skin of the pearly whites.
But I think the argument was there because Kaiser was on his way back. If Proper can stay alive just a little bit longer, he drops the grab and Kaiser drops the shatter. There's a world where it actually works out. And because the cap comes in as well, you do see a couple of forward spawns from O2 Blast being punished, being sent back to spawn. Element Mystic knew the spawns were there. And this is just going to affect the stability of the C defense for O2 Blast. The final bastion of defense is still very achievable. Look at the clock, 1:08.
And you said it earlier, there is a world where Element Mystic just physically can't complete the map. O2 Blast, if they can find a hold somewhere. They don't have to dilly-dally with time bank, that's what they're looking for. Shadow either side from Alpha and Kaiser. Sparkles down, nice charge to find Hanbin, trade out with Kaiser, but the damage has been done. O2 Blast looking to force Element Mystic into full retreat, maybe even pick up some exit kills here.
So now time pressure is very important because Element Mystic want to take the time to find the proper angles, to build up the proper ultimates as well. I'm not talking about the play here, I'm talking about the team members for EM pushing in now. Doa does have the EMP with about 30 seconds remaining. They kind of have to go.
I think it's Myeonbong and Mandu both have potential answers. It's not going to get much done there for Pelican, unfortunately, but can they get something else done here? Maybe a counter trade. Kaiser down. No Shadow to be available. Krong going to get drilled down as well. They've held on to Sound Barrier, though. They're going to need that against Sparkle's upcoming grab.
And we want to wait till time back. We want to wait till overtime, rather. O2 Blast don't have to die on this hill. They know they can extend this one closer to their own spawn, then really commit their ultimates. Proper's nearly on a Graviton Surge now. This is going to be Element Mystic at their weakest in terms of ult economy.
Certainly don't want to let Element Mystic cap, because if you can stop them, you leave the door open for you to win. If you can cap out, that's what O2 Blast play for here. Shadow from Alpha, but Kaiser, he's got a good angle here. As soon as his grab runs out, they're going to lose Pelican though, but they've traded well, and they find Alpha 2. Element Mystic do not have enough left to stay alive in this fight, no matter how low these members get. Doha is only one man, and now he's a dead man. They will hold off Element Mystic.
And they wouldn't have been able to do that if they spent ultimates previously. They knew they had to wait just a little bit longer, get all their members together, get the ducks in a row. And for Element Mystic, just couldn't quite have the resource. And this is the time pressure that I'm talking about, because when they enter C, they only have a minute and something. They don't quite have the time to make the setups happen, get the ult economy rolling for themselves, such that when they actually make the final push onto the C point and finish the map itself, they have the resources to do so. They're pressured to use ults early, put the EMPs down early, maybe in uncomfortable positions that they usually wouldn't, just because there's simply not enough time. And where was that time lost? It was lost on A.
Here is the fear, though. Element Mystic, yeah, they lost a lot of time on A. Let's remember King's Row, though. That was where O2 Blast attacked first. They lost all of their time on A. If that happens again, it won't matter that they held Element Mystic. If they can't even cap A, they don't have a hope.
And that's got to be on the minds of O2. But it shouldn't be weighing on them too hard, because understandably, look, their A point was pretty solid all round. They
good.
survived many EMPs, they survived many combos, they survived many waves of EM pushing into them. And O2, this time around on the other side, on the offensive side, if they can do the opposite of that as the attackers and just kind of walk through EM in a way, don't give Doa the space, don't give Element Mystic the neutral fight they want to, where they're just waiting for this EMP to come through. Go back to Volskaya. There have been some very nice takes, especially the first attempt. They went on completely shutting down Doa. That's what you got to do if you're O2 Blast.
And if you can cap that first point, that's where you can keep the pressure on, keep the aggression up, and not give Doha that time and that space on the defense. But that is if you cap the point.
Early rotation is very important. Element Mystic obviously going to take the early high ground. Doa's going to be off the side somewhere, already starting to farm up, and O2, they don't have to contest it. They can rotate to the point if they want to.
Guys, does get a tasty fire strike. Hanbin's in trouble. He's going to go down. This is already a great start for O2 Blast. Myeonbong go down in the counter trade. O2 Blast, they're kind of in too deep here to back out. So they're going to go ahead, double down. See if they can get some more damage out. See if maybe Proper can come alive. EMP is close.
And EMP will be the key here. Element Mystic waiting for all members. One tick has not been expired just yet. Pelican down.
Ooh, it's a closer respawn for O2 Blast, but they're now waiting for an additional respawner. And Mandu can't afford to go back to Taxi.
Krong out of
on the wrong
position.
side of this. He's going to take the dive. The team is committed to the retreat.
Huge save by EM. Look at that. Don't even give up a single tick on the point. And they lost a member early. O2 Blast did such a good job of just intercepting, of just like, well, they actually got intercepted by Element Mystic, but they absorbed that pressure, put it back on the Hanbin, gave themselves an early lead. Not quite enough to put themselves on the point, though.
Oh man, again, they find an early kill, but EMP's there. Can they finish a few more off? It's trade so far, I would say, favorable for O2 Blast. Nice shatter. Need to follow it up. Undyne gonna make that hard. Guys on his back for a split second. Sound barrier out. Remember, closer respawns for O2 Blast. That could be the difference maker. Proper as well has the grab. Can they unlock him here?
And this is where O2 Blast need to be able to reinforce in time. Losing Krong's a bit of a problem. EM, Alpha's coming back in. Sparkle's got a grab coming up soon as well.
They do need to be careful here. Need to get these healers back into the mix. Nearly have a rally available out from Pelican. That's going to be a really big one. To be able to throw that in. Grab is there. Answer is there as well with the sound barrier. They're looking for Alpha off to the side.
Shatter by Alpha.
Shatter. No follow-up just yet with the grab from Sparkle now. No support ultimates left. And O2 Blast are dropping like flies. Element Mystic continuing to hold in ever more precarious situations.
And they just couldn't get their team back together. Krong being DMIC, they're still playing with fire. They're still waiting for more. Waiting for ultimates as well, and Element Mystic now EMP up and available while they were taking down O2. Doa's just free shooting on the side. No one can address them realistically, and this is where Alpha and Sparkle close to their ultimates, use them, leverage them, get the value they need to, and continue holding on this point.
A full hold would be the most brutal and heartbreaking way for it to end for O2 Blast, and it's starting to approach that point.
You're looking at Noha again, connects on 6.
Baby, that is massive! That's going to be another easy cleanup for Element Mystic, and I said it would be brutal. We now go past the 1 minute mark. We are in last fight territory for O2 Blast.
And it's so brutal that Proper tried to suicide there, right-clicking into the wall. Sparkle's like, nope, gotta get that kill credit just in case. And O2 Blast now in a position that is so scary. Look, Element Mystic only capped with 30 seconds remaining on A. O2 Blast could do it at least in the same. Doa doesn't have an EMP anymore. Element Mystic are at least weak in this matchup considering the ultimates aren't in play.
This is the best shot O2 Blast are going to get here. If they can't do it here, I mean, obviously it's just not going to happen. It's last fight territory, 30 seconds left.
Those are the two guys who can look at Undyne or Transcendence available, but 4 on the side of O2 Blast. Surely they can find the opening they need.
Doa's nearly got another EMP though if they don't find that opening soon. Element Mystic are coming into ultimates. They could turn it around if O2 Blast don't execute perfectly here.
Watch the pointers on 2 ticks now. Here comes that grab.
Grab from Sparkle to the first one. Shatter out, encountered into 2 and an Undyne commits Transcendence.
Watch Doa.
Here's going to be the EMP connect onto a couple. Sound barrier in for the answer. Where's the kills? Kaiser's dead. Proper's got to do it himself now. Grab out. Where's the follow-up? He's bumped away. Brilliant play there by Unique to keep Proper off. Krong going to get D-Mac. Element Mystic, they lost some progress on the point, but they're winning the fight. They're looking to do this. Element Mystic with the full hold will find themselves crowned the best in the East, the winners of the Pacific Showdown.
And this is the team that wanted to do it their way. O2 Blast came into this a symbol of what the current meta is. It's 3-3, it's GOATs. Element Mystic don't play that. They play the Sombra, they play the Doomfist, they play the 2-2-2. They are the symbol of everything else that is not GOATs. They say screw the meta, we are the meta. Sparkle says screw GOATs, I am the GOAT.
Collecting their final handshake from a familiar grip of O2 Blast. No team deserves it more.
And this is going to be another upsetting loss, sadly, for O2 Blast, who made their way through this tournament as the second best team the entire way through, not dropping a game to anyone else. And they look good. They look very good doing that. Element Mystic looked just that much better, and even in this matchup, you saw it yourselves, 2 maps going the way of O2, and now the trophy ceremony. And there it is, the Pacific Showdown champions of 2019, Element Mystic, winning that extra seed for Gauntlet later in the year. The best team in this region, champion among champions.
And no region deserves it more than Korea to get that extra seed, to send 3 whole teams to the Gauntlet. It will account for nearly a third of the total teams represented.
好的，恭喜我们 EM 战队拿得了本次守望先锋太平洋挑战赛的总冠军。哇，相 相信此时此刻他们真的是非常非常的激动。来，我们再次把目光聚集他们的奖杯，因为 EM 是冠军。好，谢谢我们几位小伙子，我们稍在台上，我们简单采访一下，好吗？来，我们站在我们的奖杯两旁，来，我们一起来参与这个环节，好不好？来，我们往这边站一点。OK， 所以第一个问题当然是要问一问，此时此刻我们已经经历过3天的线下赛了，我相信各位小伙子们也是非常的辛苦。我想问一问，你们现在的心情是怎么样的？
You've just won. How do you immediately feel?
지금 우승을 하셨는데 지금 기분이 어떠세요?
太激动了。
Sparkle.
여태까지 했던 경기 중 O2가 제일 잘한 경기 같고요. 저희가 조금 작은 실수가 하나 정도 있었는데 그걸 다 팀원끼리 극복해가지고 이렇게 우승한 것 같습니다.
这次比赛是我们打的所有的比赛里面表现的最好的一次。
best performance, I
前面有一
believe.
点小失误，但是后面
There's
全都
some
挽
few
回回来
mistakes there,
了。
but I feel
还
like
是获
even
得了个
towards the
非
end
常
we
不
were
错
very
的
good.
成绩，真的是恭喜你们。那我想问一下，在这3天来到上海参加比赛，
So in the 3 days we were here in
3天的
Shanghai.
过程当中，让你最印象深刻的
So
是
what
哪一
was
场比赛？
what
为
was
什么？
the match that you remember the most, or the one that left the greatest impression on you?
경기는 언제인가요? 그리고 이유는 뭔가요?
아마 오늘인 것 같습니다. 왜냐하면 여태까지 3일 동안 경기를 하면서 이렇게 긴장되고 힘들고 이렇게 떨린 적이 없었는데 O2가 많이 준비를 한 것 같아요. 저희를 약간 고비로 넘긴 것 같습니다.
印象最深的就是今天的
So
这
it'll
次
be
比赛，
today's grand
然后今
final.
天的比赛里面是3天比赛里面
And it
所有
feels
比
like
赛里面我们最激
across
动、
all
最
3
紧张，
days,
然后最累
this
的
is the
一
one
场
that。we felt the most
因为
pressure
刚才
on.
我们看到比赛
the most on our
进行
shoulders.
得非常的焦灼，但是我相信在私底下进行训练赛的时候，所有的辛苦和所有的努力，
And in a saying, I
在
feel like
这一刻
now
都
that
是
you've won, it
值得
feels
的，
like it
对吗？
must be all
好
paying off.
我们现场的观众
all the
朋友
hard
们，
work.
我们再次把我们的热烈的掌声
One
送
more
给我
time,
们
let's
的冠军，
congratulate
好不好？
Element Mystic.
他们是 EM， 他们来自韩国，我们把掌声送给他们。好的，那到现在呢，我们守望先锋本一次线下赛也要告一段落了。非常感谢我们这6支战队
So we want to
在
thank
这
the
3
6
天的
teams
时
that
间
have
里面给我们
participated
带来
here
这么
over the
精
3
彩的
days.
比赛，
Fantastic
以及
matches.
他们的付出、他们的汗水，也是
For
感
all their
动我
hard
们
work.
所有守望先锋的玩家。也希望我们所有的在台前我们观看的所有的观众朋友们，也能够继续支持我们的守望先锋，
So I hope everyone
因
can
为
continue
我
supporting
们是一
Overwatch
家人，对不对？
for the Pacific
好的
Championship.，
那就让我们一起说再见吧。让我们下一次守望
That's
先
going
锋
to be it. That's going to be
挑战
3
赛
days worth of
不见
competition
不
here. The
散
6 best
拜拜
teams across Asia Pacific region. I've been AVRL. This has been Pixie here for the Pacific Showdown. Any last words? We're going to sign off.
It has been incredible.
And that's going to be it. Don't worry. Next week it's going to be Atlantic Showdown, and afterwards will be the Gauntlet. So make sure you stay tuned. Keep that check on the dial. We'll see you guys later.